Shout out to Cats Pawd.
A big defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? Here we are, very special edition today. Like, we have the biggest guest that this show has ever seen, by far. Very special guest, Mr. Ty McCullouch. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Real good. Real good.
Cool.
So, we were wondering, just right off the bat, do you ever rub it in to Tommy that you have a better passer rating than he does?
Nah, not at all. I probably, I take him whenever I can get him, but
Yeah.
Tommy's Tommy, so he feeds me the ball. I gotta keep it neutral. But if I ever did, he'd joke around with me too.
Yeah.
Probably say he catches better than me, but
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen it, Tommy. We have not seen it yet. So, we can't really confirm that, Because I was looking at the stats and I was like, Ty, you got a 715 QBR.
yeah,
That's
it's
wild.
insane. I didn't even think that was possible.
Yeah, I was like, you broke the scale. Completely broke the
that was
scale.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that play you had where you threw that touchdown pass a couple weeks ago was art. You could videotape that and put it in a museum.
Yeah.
Do you guys practice those kind of trick plays?
We had it on the call list for about. We had it that week and then maybe like a couple weeks before, but I wasn't the guy throwing it at first. Somebody else was, and then they messed it up in practice. And then I was like, "You guys know I'm a lefty too, right?" And then they're like, "Oh yeah." So then they threw me in there. I completed in practice twice, and then he caught it versus NAU or no Northern Colorado, and then rest was history. So
Yeah.
Speaking of Northern Colorado, did you see them and the Grizzlies are the game of the week this week?
I did not see that. Is it at Washington Grizzly?
No, it's in Northern Colorado.
Oh wow,
We were surprised. We were like, ooh, a real battle this week. There is only 3 Big Sky games this week, so they had to pick one of them. But for that to be the Big Sky game of the week, it's like, what?
Yeah. Especially down in Greeley. Greeley's not a fun place to play. So
Yeah.
That's what Marcus was saying. He was saying they got quite the home field advantage there in Greeley.
yeah, it smells really bad out there.
Really?
Like, terribly bad.
He didn't bring up that part. No way.
Oh yeah, it smells like right when you get off the plane, the buses, you know you're in Greeley.
Oh no, this is destroying my fake Northern Colorado fandom that I've had this year.
Oh, that's
I don't know if
awesome.
you've seen that, but
No,
I decided they needed one fan, so I was like, I'm gonna be a Northern Colorado fan as well.
Got you.
This
yeah.
winning has been too much for me. I was like, it's too much.
Yeah.
But you spent quite a bit of time in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, it kind of seems.
Oh, I think we're freezing up. All right, so you
I
spent.
can hear you, Ben. You're
You
good.
got it. You got it. Okay. All right. So you spent
You're
quite
good,
a bit of time in Colorado. How was your time at Colorado State?
It was really cool. I like the area. Fort Collins was really nice. We had this huge reservoir right next to the school, so on weekends we just go over there, try and find a boat if we could, and just hang out on the water. Football, on the other hand, it didn't go so well, which is why I ended up, here. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. I met a lot of lifelong friends, and I'm nothing but grateful for that experience.
Yeah. As far as football, what do you think was the biggest difference between Colorado State and Montana State? Like the way it's run, or the team itself?
I'd say a lot of the in-state guys. Over at Colorado State, they didn't have a lot of in-state guys that really took charge, but
Oh yeah.
here we got a lot of guys, like Brody, Tommy. They're like the pillars of our team right now, and that showed a lot before I came here, and even now. So those guys who really take it to heart that they're playing for their hometown team.
Mm-hmm. That's always awesome, and we appreciate that because we're both Montanans that have lived in Montana for most of our lives. But it's cool that you also respect that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And we've always thought that was an important part of it, like the backbone of the program and everything is having these guys around that are from Montana, but also just as important is guys like you and Julius Davis and this year Rohan coming in and like just making a huge difference right away. Because I was thinking about last season, and like you were relatively unknown to like the fans, you know, didn't really know anything about it. Then you hop into a couple games, score some touchdowns. I remember the big grab where you like brought it down from like I don't know how high that was, and then tipped it down to yourself. But those were moments where I was like, this is a dude that belonged here a long time ago. Why didn't we have him earlier?
Yeah, it's funny because I actually did want to come here out of high school. I had a connection through the old O-line coach that we had here, Brian Armstrong.
Oh, yeah.
He coached my brother at Rocky Mountain, so that was kind of the connection here, but it just didn't work out, and I ended up at CSU, but, you know, you're destined to be where you're destined to be, so ended up here.
Yeah.
Did you ever follow any kind of FCS football, you know, before you got into college football at all?
I honestly didn't. I really didn't follow, honestly, anybody but, like, the local teams. Yeah, I didn't follow anybody pretty much but, like, USC, UCLA.
Yeah.
Those guys, but.
Yeah, the local.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The FCS gets pretty.
The FCS gets kind of insane, and like honestly, we didn't know the full scope of it until we kind of started this podcast and then started paying attention to like FCS Fans Nation and everything like that. Because for the most part, we were like NFL guys, would watch some FBS stuff, but it is pretty wild how crazy the fans are across the country. Like, you'll run into crazy fans of like Rhode Island that you wouldn't even know had a football school, like had a football team at all. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
For sure.
You also have been in college through the change from NIL, well, no NIL to NIL. So I was wondering, like, how big a difference has that made in your life, you know?
It's made a huge difference, honestly. I wouldn't say huge, but it's made a pretty good difference. Mm-hmm. It's allowed me to just live a little bit more comfortably, rather than stipend to stipend. Mm-hmm. I'm able to go get the food that I really want, that I really need, rather than just living off like box of noodles and stuff like that. Yeah. Which what I was doing a lot when I was before NIL. So it's been really nice. Especially with the community here, they really take care of us, so it's really blessed.
Yeah, I don't know how you could live in Bozeman without a little bit extra money. Like I can't even afford. I can barely afford to visit for the games. It's crazy over there anymore. So I could definitely see that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What do you think overall? Like, what's the biggest difference you're seeing in, like, the mentality of the team from last year to this year?
I think that first game really did a lot for us. It boosted our confidence just enough to where we realized that we can come back from any deficit as long as we just believe in each other. Yeah. So just going forward, we kind of just have taken that mentality and, have gone with it. And I think that Idaho game really, really showed that because, we won our lick back from the previous year, but which played a lot into it. So the emotions were really high. And I think just going forward, we're going to be really, really hard to stop if we keep this mentality.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be the biggest thing, right, is just keeping that fire and, like, keeping that chip on your shoulder. Because when we talked to Marcus earlier this week, I asked him about the coaching staff changing over, and because there's not a lot of new faces, but a lot of people in new roles. And it was like a lot of these people, it seemed like you guys stepped up big time, and he instantly just put it right on the players. Said the players came in with a different kind of mentality this year. They took what happened last year personally and were really just trying to go for it, you know. So we definitely see that.
Yeah, extremely personal. It's just something that you sense when you walk in the building every morning, every practice. It's different than last year. It's hard to explain, but it just is.
Mm-hmm. It seems just like the seriousness is kind of taken a step up. Like there's still a lot of like celebrating and everything going on. You know, people are excited. You know, Rohan's dancing in the end zone, stuff like that. But it's like, and that man's moves, you know. I don't know.
He's probably listening. He's my roommate, so
Yeah.
he's probably listening on this kind. But yeah, he wasn't here last year, so he doesn't feel the same pain we felt playing Idaho. Obviously, he won't feel playing Montana, but we try and do the best as we can and instill that in him. And he's the goofball of the team. I'm getting older now, so a lot of the younger guys get on my nerves a lot, but he's one of the guys who will never annoy me. He's just the funniest guy ever. He's hilarious.
Yeah, some people just have that personality where they can. Anybody else you'd think it was annoying, but with that dude, it's just like the best. You know.
Exactly. That's him.
Yeah. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Eric's back.
I'm back.
He's finally back.
I told you I barely have power up here. So.
up in the north in Canada where Eric is, basically, you know, they don't get a lot of internet up there.
It's relatively new. We're just getting off our horses and getting cars and stuff and all.
That's crazy.
They still, if the snow gets too deep, they still got to take the horse. But you know, it's always good to have that backup.
Wow.
You know,
but built-in refrigerator. Yeah. What did I miss? Did I miss anything?
No, not like anything. You know, we were just chit chatting. You know, we were just talking about how this season's going, keeping that fire alive. You know, keeping everything going like that.
So, Ty, what do you guys do? The entire media, you know, they've got the Cats ranked number 2, but everybody, and Ben and I are always the biggest keyboard warriors back on this. But they say,
never thought I'd be that guy, but I'm that.
Yeah. You know, strength of schedule, frauds, you know, it's just a constant, there's no belief in the Bobcats other than the actual Bobcat fans out there. Do you guys even see that kind of stuff?
We're not worried about it, what everybody else thinks, as long as we believe in ourselves, and nobody's going to deter us from what we're trying to accomplish this season. You know, we're 23 seniors strong, and they can say whatever they want about us, but as soon as we see North Dakota or South Dakota State again, we're gonna bring it to them. So,
I will say that Maine win is looking pretty impressive after last week.
Yeah, a lot of our wins. New Mexico's looking not too bad either. So,
yeah, you got to tell us a little bit about that, because before the New Mexico game, you said I never lost to New Mexico, and you kept true to that.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about just how crazy. I was there, but tell us how crazy it was on the field.
It was actually funny because halftime I was sweating because we were down, obviously, and I was like, I just talked all this smack on the media. I never lost to Lobo, and we're down by like 17 going into halftime, and I gave a speech or whatever, and then we came out and we executed we executed everything to a T, and it felt so good to just be able to, you know, stay true to my word and bring that win home, our first FBS win in a while. So it was really nice.
Yeah. That game was crazy from start to finish. I mean, you had the wind picking up.
Oh yeah.
Like ridiculous, blowing stuff all over the field. Like half the crowd lost their hats. And,
there's stuff blowing in my eyes and stuff.
There was a play on that final drive. You caught a pass down probably a 3-yard line or something like that, and you had a New Mexico DB literally bear hugging your neck when you caught. How did you catch that? Or do you even remember that play?
Oh, I remember it. I just ran a little, like, basically a stop route and an extended hitch route, and I didn't even see Tommy at first, but then after like a second, the line shifted and I saw one little gap and he saw me and he threw it. And I kind of just like framed it with my arms, just put my arms out there and felt the pressure and squeezed it. And, you know, those bang bang plays like happen so fast. You just don't even know what's happening most of the time. I got up and I was like, oh, like first down. And then next thing you know, we're running the ball and to take the lead to win. It just happened so fast. It happened really fast.
I mean, that last drive in New Mexico was an absolute clinic of how you do everything correct.
Yeah.
It was impressive. And I know there wasn't a ton of us Bobcat fans there, but it was going nuts in our section.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. And there were some like guys who were not in the Bobcat section, but like close to you guys that were talking mess to Tommy the whole game.
Oh yeah.
It was bad. They're like they were saying he couldn't throw, all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then when we came back and won, we all just turned around and started talking smack to him. It was nice. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a pretty good trash talker when you get on the field?
I feel like if they don't say anything to me, I won't say anything unless it's Idaho. I was talking a lot of smack that game.
Yeah.
Of course, Montana. But if they don't say anything to me, I usually won't say anything to them.
Yeah.
Just keep it respectful. But yeah.
That makes sense. I feel like you see that between wide receivers and corners more than any other position on the field. Yeah. You know, it just constant chatter, and you're like matched up with somebody pretty much all day long. You don't really get that experience elsewhere, so it's like.
Yeah, it's usually the corners who started too. They think they're the hottest thing out there. They're doing all their hand signals and stuff, saying they locked you down, and they're really not doing anything. So it's like you can't guard me, dude. It's all right, man.
Corners are just wide receivers that can't catch, right?
Exactly.
You know.
Trying to tell our corners that, but they don't want to listen.
Oh, I wouldn't tell our corners that. You know, that would that would be terrifying to me. You know, those dudes, they're in way better shape than I am. You know, I would be in trouble if I tried to talk smack to any of the corners in the Big Sky Conference. You know, I mean, I'm 6'5" and I'd still be scared, honestly. You know,
6'5"?
Yeah.
Jesus, I didn't know you were 6'5".
Yeah. Well, I just sit in this chair all day anymore, you know, IT guy.
Yeah.
So
That's tall shit, though.
So
man.
You were talking about trash talking. How long after you got to Bozeman did you realize what the Cat Grizz rivalry actually was?
I had a sense, you know, going into it like beforehand, but it's nothing before you actually play in it. It's crazy. I had food thrown at me while I was playing on the field. I had a fruit roll-up literally thrown at my feet on like the 20-yard line. And I looked at the ref, and he like looked at me, and I was like, "Are you not gonna throw a flag? Like that's food."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. I can't wait for him to come to our house this year. I'm stoked for that.
You know, it's real hatred when they'll just waste a fruit roll up like that too. Like,
Yeah.
come on, that's
Crazy.
That's some good stuff right there. Why are you throwing that thing on the field?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll never forget that for the rest of my life.
And it's not even this season. They've already done it to Weber State. When the Weber State went in there and beat them,
Yeah.
they were tossing all kinds of stuff at players, and they say, "Oh, well, the players cussed at us," and it's like, so
Like what? That doesn't constitute throwing.
I have never seen a single player in all of my fandom or like playing sports where the person on the field, the court, whatever, started it. I know that for sure.
Like,
You know?
they got their own job to do. They're not worried about you in the stands.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nobody's turning around like 32D.
Yeah.
I hate you. I got You're fat and ugly, 32D. Take that.
Yeah.
You know? It just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
I feel like I can speak for everybody when I say there is nothing worse than a salty Grizz fan in the entire world.
Oh my God.
Absolutely nothing. And I hope that we get to see a bunch of them in a few weeks. I hope. because
Man, it's coming
what they-
fast. Ooh,
It's a big
it's
one.
coming fast.
Mm-hmm.
what they did to us last year, the way they treated us after that game was just horrendous.
Oh,
Because the year that college game day was in Bozeman during Cat Grizz, me and Ben had a couple of friends come down from Missoula for Cat Grizz, and they didn't have tickets, but they went into Specs, and they were the only Grizz fans in that whole bar. And people felt bad for them, so they bought all their drinks the whole night. That's the difference between Bozeman and Missoula right there.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing a clip of Tommy saying like, "Don't harass him either." So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
they have no respect for us. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If there's one universal opinion on Tommy, it's that even the Grizz fans like him. So
Yeah,
he's got that. He's won over the whole state just
Yeah,
by
that's
being
crazy.
himself. So it's good for him.
yeah. I went back to his high school one time, and there's this shrine of just Tommy Malott. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Butte?
It was all right. I like Tommy. Tommy's place was cool, but
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't out there to form a solid opinion, but it's Butte, America, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's a wild place. We had my bachelor party there for a reason. It is
Wow.
a wild place to be, you know.
I bet.
Yeah. And that kind of tells you the level of bars that I enjoy being into. You know?
There's
The
still a
dingier, the
missing
better.
Nike. There's still a missing
No.
Nike Air Force One there too.
Yeah.
That's
His-
crazy.
Yeah.
His missing Nike Air
Yeah.
Force One.
There's an absolutely toasted and tarnished white on white Air Force One that is
Damn.
probably in the hallway of the hotel or something. You know.
Gone forever. Man.
Gone
That's
forever.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Butte is an interesting place, and I would definitely not recommend going there in a busy time.
Yeah.
That's a place you can find yourself in some trouble in a darn hurry.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet. Yeah.
You don't get as tough as Tommy without growing up in a place like that, you know, where you take a left instead of a right, and then all of a sudden you're in a fight, you know. Or it could be the water. They always talk about that Butte water, so that might be
I've
it
heard
too.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were kind of talking with Marcus Monaco the other night, and I asked him this question, and I'm interested to see what a player says. And I was kind of wondering, from a fan's perspective, it seems like the Big Sky Conference is getting better as a whole. Like even the bad teams, like the Cal Polys and the Northern Colorados, are actually doing well. Do you see that as a player too?
Yeah, I do see it. It's a cool thing to see. We realize that we're everybody's Super Bowl at the end of the day,
Yeah.
so we got to approach it as such, because any team in this conference can knock somebody out. We saw UC Davis going to, what did we just play, Portland State the other week.
Yeah,
and,
they lost that game.
They lost that game. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we've said. You know, before we went to play them, like
Mm-hmm.
UC Davis lost that game, so there's no reason to take this team lightly because they've won one game. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
every team in this conference can pull out an upset. It's happening all over college football. You know, Vanderbilt beating Alabama, that's never going to happen again. You know, like things are happening this year that haven't happened before, and you got to be ready for it every week. So
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like my school, my old school, Iowa State is ranked number 10 in the entire nation.
wow.
That has definitely never happened before.
You went to Iowa State?
Yeah, so I
cool.
guess I just got to brag a little bit. I
Yeah.
got to root for two teams, the Bobcats and Iowa State, and they're both undefeated.
Yes, sir.
Coming from a Phillies fan and a Vikings fan, it feels pretty good to have some teams that actually do well.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings aren't doing so bad, so you know, not as bad
We
as I
lost
thought
two
they were
in a
going to
row.
be. Yeah, you lost
We
two
lost
in a row.
two
but
in a
then
row.
You won 5 in a row before that. Like, can you have everything? You know.
I'm just saying they missed the face mask in the end zone on Thursday Night Football, right in front of the ref. We got hosed. I know you're probably a Rams fan, so you were probably rooting for the Rams in that one.
I'm actually a Dolphins fan.
Dolphins.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, my
lame.
buddy just got drafted there, so I had to default to that. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And the Dolphins are a cool team to root for. When they did Hard Knocks last year, I was like, there's so many great personalities on this team, and like the coaches in that would just be going off saying the most crazy stuff, and I was just like, this is. If I wasn't already a fan of the Seahawks and I wasn't like 30 years into this thing, I might switch over to the Dolphins. You know.
Speaking of the NFL, it's pretty cool to see. You know, we've got some pretty high-profile Bobcats in the NFL now.
Yeah.
You know, with Troy Anderson's hurt now, but was having an unbelievable season, and then Alex Singleton got hurt, but he was unreal when he was still in there.
Yeah.
It's like that's pretty darn cool to see that even from the FCS you can still send them pro.
Yeah, it's they can find you anywhere. You just gotta. I think guys leaving schools like this it's a double-edged sword. You know, they probably would have built a statue of one of the guys that left before, but yeah. So it's a double-edged sword. You can go and do great things, or you can not. So
yeah,
but yeah, they'll find you anywhere.
Oh yeah,
it's a double-edged sword as a fan too, because you watch those guys leave and they're going to bigger and better things and hopefully more lucrative and all that good stuff. But gosh, you sure hate to watch them leave too at the same time. But you just gotta hope that school is taking care of them
for sure.
If they convince them to leave, like, you know, and go there. So just hopefully they're actually, you know, sticking to their end of the bargain, because we have seen that now with that quarterback from what's the school? I'm blanking.
Saluka. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he claimed that they didn't follow through with their promises and everything, and you know he got vilified by the media. I mean, they just
UNLV, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
They had three different dudes leave. They weren't even covering like living expenses. It was like the bare minimum. They weren't ever able to cover it, which is insane.
Yeah, especially being in Vegas. You know, I feel like there's money there. But.
So there's been there's been a lot of talk this season about like different schools from the Big Sky moving to the Mountain West. How do you think that the Cats would compete in the Mountain West, like the way they're built today?
Right now, I feel like we'd be able to contend for a championship.
There's no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Only problem there's only one problem in the Mountain West right now, though. And his name's Ashton Genty. So
that might be a little bit of a problem. Okay, a little bit of a problem, you know.
But other than
that dude's having a season. Holy crap!
He's going crazy. It's insane.
After the New Mexico game, everybody was calling me crazy for thinking. I was like, I'm pretty sure the Cats could compete in the Mountain West right now. You don't need any more scholarships, any more money. I'm pretty sure that they could do it. And then I started listing off the teams that I think that you guys could beat. And then by the end of it, people were like, yeah, you're actually right. You know, there's 5 or 6 teams in there where I would say more than likely the Cats have got a really good chance, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I watched the entire Sac State, San Jose State game.
Yeah.
And San Jose State is, you know, kind of the big dog right now. They're pretty good. And Sac State is a total fraud. And they
he has to say it every time. He's like,
it's my thing. I hate them. I hate Sac State with every fiber of my being, because all they have to do is knock over a moth, and all of a sudden they're ranked again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they go to Weber State, who just lost to Northern Colorado. Sac State beats them in 2 overtimes, and still. Now they're talking about putting them back in the top 25. I can't even believe that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, they've lost terrible games to not very good teams. I mean, the Northern Arizona game was just ridiculous. I mean, they were never even in that game.
Yeah.
Then they lose to Weber State directly after Weber State loses to Northern Colorado. I don't get it at all. I don't get the love for Sac State.
After you keep talking about it, I don't think anybody's going to love him anymore, you know?
No.
Keep bringing it up every time, you know?
I'm going to beat that dead horse, I'm telling you.
It's dead, man. It's dead.
You know? Yeah, it's gone. Okay.
Ty,
I'll get off my soapbox.
Do you guys pay much attention to the rankings? It really seems from the way, like, Vegan kind of lays down the law and everything, and just the whole team they don't really seem like they care much about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, we don't really care because, like I said, the mentality that we have right now is we're gonna bring it to everybody. Mm-hmm. We view ourselves as underdogs this whole season, so they're gonna give us what they give us at the end of the day, and we're gonna take what we want.
Mm-hmm. The rankings committee is gonna put the Bobcats as an underdog constantly. They constantly bring up all everything about the schedule, and it's like, okay, well, what do you want them to do? They go out there and they beat the absolute tar out of everybody that they play, and they're not the ones who pick the schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, the 21.5-point favorites over Portland State, I couldn't bet that fast enough. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I don't know what else they want to see. I mean, they're giving another team points to make them even with you, and then you destroy that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we were only like 3-point favorites for Idaho.
Yeah, 3.5.
Yeah. We saw how that ended. So.
Yeah. And that was honestly, like, even as a fan, that was a pretty big surprise. The way that that game got dominated, because everybody's talking about the best defensive line in the country. Yeah. The entire week, like 2 weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance, they're talking about how great this defense is, and then ran right through it, passed right over it. It was a thing of beauty, you know.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun to get that look back.
I bet.
Well, they had that DN from Idaho. They had him as at that time a 6th round potential draft pick.
Wow.
And he did absolutely nothing against what I would call a fairly stout offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Fairly stout.
Yeah.
our guys are the truth, man. They can't thank them enough. They just go out there and grind every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, just for the record.
When is the catch the damn ball t-shirt gonna come out? You know, we need that.
We need that. Because when we're in the tough situations, that's what we got to rely on at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, and it's like throughout the rest of the season, there's gonna be some tough situations. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. It could go just like the rest of these games have this season. The first 8 might be the same as the last 5. I don't know, but the way the strength of schedule is, it's looking like there could be some more tough moments, and that you are exactly right. That's what they're going to be relying on. We're going to have to go to the air. We're going to need all that talent. And just talking about your guys' wide receiver room, not just you, but the other dudes that are around you in that room, like, there is some massive talent in there. So the fact that people still think of this team as like a running team only, do you take that a little bit personally?
You know, if they want to view us as that and stack the box, that's fine by me, because we love them. Yeah. So if that's what they want to do, I think Idaho said, you know, we got to get them to pass the ball. And, you know, second drive, third drive, we had Taco over the top. So if you want to make us throw the ball, we'll throw the ball. So. But if you want to make my job easy and make me go out and block too, I'm fine with that. It's whatever. I feel like this team is very unselfish.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're receivers at the end of the day, and we want to get our touches, and we're all super talented. So we want to get involved, but at the end of the day, if we're winning, it doesn't matter.
I mean, the depth in the receiver room. Yeah, the depth is just insane. I mean, you're talking about guys that played quite a bit last year that are still seeing the field in, like, you know, Aiden Garrigan and Tremble, and they're I mean, they've still getting to see the field some, but I mean, the depth of the receiver room is so deep that Tommy's throwing the ball 11 different guys.
Yeah, it's spread out pretty evenly if you look at the catches. It's like I said, we're all talented, and we're all just waiting for our moment. It's really fun to see those guys make plays. Like when Rohan made that crazy play with like 50 seconds left, I was like, I ran like a hitch or something. I was like, this dude's about to take it to the house. Like, what? Yeah.
How many guys did he drag to the end zone?
Like 3 or 4. I was like, dude. I went to his room after him. I was like, that touchdown was crazy.
Yeah. It's nice that you guys talk about it a little bit like we talk about it, because we do the same thing. We're just like, that was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So Rohan Jones comes from Maine, who was, they were a decent team last year, but you never heard anything about him. And then all of a sudden he comes to Montana State and he is becoming a superstar in a hurry. Like, was Maine not using him correct, or has he just blown up?
That's just what happens when you're not utilized enough and you're on a losing team. There's not much you can do, I guess.
Yeah.
When he's surrounded by other good players, he's able to excel the way he's able to. Everybody else makes it easy on him, and he makes it easy for us. I knew it right when he came here. He was going to be a matchup like mismatch because he's so fast and he's really big. So safeties aren't going to be able to keep up. The linebackers aren't going to be able to keep up, and we're going to keep using him down the line.
But it seems like every game they somehow scheme him open.
Yeah.
Like wide open.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he may not get a lot of touches a game, but one of them is going to be a really, really big one.
Yeah.
It just seems that that's how it has been working anyway.
Yeah.
Happens the way it happens,
Yeah.
It's calculated.
Yeah.
It's calculated for sure. I'll tell you that.
Do you think have you noticed a big difference in the play calling this year compared to last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say we definitely get in the quick game a lot more than we did last year. And we relied a little bit too much on the run last year. Whilst this year it's a little more even, and it's really nice. So,
yeah. It's pretty crazy how you, as players, you guys have been able to transition essentially what you could call, aside from the head coach, a whole new coaching staff for the most part. I mean, both coordinators are new to their position. I know they were there last year, but they're both new, and the players never missed a beat. How do you guys get on the same page so fast?
I think it sucked when the other coaches had to leave because they were some of the reasons I came here. But we kind of came in after that happened, and we just got together and said, we're not going to let that affect us, and we're just going to keep going. And definitely the coaches made it easy on us as well because we obviously didn't switch up the offense that much. A few tweaks here and there, and I'm pretty sure the defense didn't switch up that much, but it's just trusting one another, trust between the coach and player and player and player. It just never faltered through that transition. So I think I attribute it to that.
Yeah. So on top of that, we've gone through a period of losing some superstars here recently. Probably 3 of the most beloved players on the team have gone down with season-ending injuries, but then we go back out on the field and the production doesn't drop. I mean, that's insane. Neil Daly looked like $1 million out there. I know you're not a defensive guy, but I mean, this is the coaching staff is doing an unbelievable job with these guys, apparently. I mean, unless they're just that good, I don't know.
Yeah, no, Neil's always been kind of like a sleeper. He's really fast for his build, which is like I always thought was weird. He's really fast, but I think he's always had that mentality that when it's his opportunity, he's going to take it and step up, and that's what we need. If I happen to go out with that shoulder thing, then another guy would have stepped up and we would have been just okay. It sucks that these guys we're losing, and we're definitely going to miss them, but we're not going to let them down in the long run. We're gonna take everything we said we were going to take, and they're going to be right there with us.
Well, and then you go back to your unselfish thing. Neil Daly gets that sack, and he goes out and he throws the tees up as a celebration. That was pretty cool as a fan.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it must be a pretty tight brotherhood in that locker room.
It is for sure. It like I said, it feels different this year, and there's not a lot that I can say to be able to express that to people who just, can't feel that within the program right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. It has absolutely been so much fun to watch what this team has done and how, I mean, even Tommy's game seems to have found another level. I mean, he's making some throws that I don't know that he could have made last year, or maybe we just never got the opportunity to see, but it even seems like he's grown from year to year.
Yeah. He definitely could have made them last year, but yeah, the amount of times we throw the ball at practice now compared to last year, it's a lot different. We force Tommy to be in situations that he's uncomfortable in, and like throwing whole shots in cover 2, which he never did last year, but he's doing it now, and it's just getting him in those weird situations that he could possibly see in the game and start to be comfortable in them.
Have you gotten to catch many passes from Chance Wilson, like either in practice or whatever? No,
we kind of just go. I kind of just take reps with Tommy. And That's it. Yeah.
I was just wondering what the spiral was like. I'm just trying to get. I'm trying to get an eye on the future, see what's going on, see if he throws a catchable ball. I'm just trying to.
He threw a
see.
dot the other day in practice.
Yes.
Like we were watching practice film, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was a dot." So I think he's got it in him. He just needs to relax a little bit. He's a little, like a newborn calf back there. He's just got to get his feet under him.
Yeah, he's like a newborn calf. You've been in Montana for too long, Ty. Come on, you're comparing people to cattle now. I don't know if you're gonna leave. Are you gonna stick around in Montana after this? You're gonna stick around? No.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's kind of rubbing off on you a little bit. I can tell.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm over here listening to Zach Bryan all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Just being a sad boy in your room. Wait. I know those times.
Yeah, you like
yeah.
So, there's been a lot of touchdowns scored this year, like a bunch of them. Who's got the best touchdown celebration on the team?
That's a hard one.
Or is
Taco's out. Taco sucks. Taco can't sell. we got in the meeting room. We were like, Taco, what the heck is that? He's like, I just didn't know what to do. It's all. I was like, all right, man. Like, yeah.
It all happened so fast.
Taco's out. Yeah, Taco's out. Okay, that's
Scottrade just yells at everybody.
Yeah,
Same
Scottrade.
thing with Julius. Julius would just scream at people.
I try and go to Scottrade, and he's just like, and I'm like, okay, dude, yeah, good job, bro.
You're tough, we know.
Tommy had a cool one against Otto. He did a little layup finger roll.
Yeah,
that was super fundamental. Like that was really fundamental.
Very fundamental.
It's either him or that one or Rose are pretty cool. He just runs around, so it's funny. That's the only reason why I'd say it's probably the best, because he's just a funny dude. So.
Yeah. Would you say that he's the funniest dude on the team, or does somebody have better jokes? Is there anybody out there that's just really hitting it?
Nah, it's him. Yeah. It's him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say he doesn't even like say jokes. He's just
is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's funny, man.
You don't grow up with a name like Rohan without developing a personality,
Yeah.
That's a strong name,
It's a strong one.
Yeah.
I know last year Marcus said Marcus Weir was the funniest on the team.
Marcus is a different kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's like
that's exactly what he said this year.
He's unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
Like he's he's very unintentionally funny.
Yeah.
He'll be giving speeches sometimes, and I'm like, I just can't help but laugh.
But, you're like, this is very serious. We're doing a very serious thing right now. I gotta keep it together. Keep it together.
Exactly. I kind of hit one of these.
Yeah. You got me. Who do you think is the best dressed on the team?
Best dressed. Dang. Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't really look at yourself. Yeah, I don't really. care how I dress at this point in my life anymore. I have a girlfriend, and we've been together almost a year now, so I don't really care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brody's rocking that cowboy hat is pretty top notch.
Yeah, no, Brody's not it. Brody's not. I'm not giving Brody that one.
There's gotta be somebody, you know. You don't get like the tunnel walking pictures in the FCS, so there's not like like a whole lot of everybody just walks to the field and everybody's in their sweatsuits and everything, so you don't really get a chance to.
There's
show
no
off
fancy George Kittle, fancy George Kittle clips.
Yeah,
exactly. I can't really put my finger on one person, honestly.
It makes sense.
Drew Polidor dresses pretty nice, so he's got some swag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, Drew Polidor is back, and boy, has he played well. I mean, he looks like he missed the field.
Yeah, we needed
really
that spark. We needed that spark against Idaho. I told him, I was like, you brought it. Like, if we saw that and we came out after you, and we were like, yeah, we got this, because he came and brought it that game. When he got that TFL, it kind of just sent an electric current through all of us, and it was really cool.
I'm pretty sure that Eric and I both jumped up off of the couch, you know, like there was an electric current going through us at that time. So, you know, it was mutual, you know.
Yeah.
We're like, we're like little kids when it comes to these games, you know.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because both of my kids were asleep in the house, and Ben was over watching the game, and we both jumped out of the couch, but we did it like as quietly as possible so we would wake them up.
Yeah.
And we're like fist pumping the ground, but really quietly.
We can't wake up the kids. Come on. Yeah. This is what you get. I can tell you kind of think that you're getting old, Ty. You think that you're an old guy, but like there's another level, and once you hit that next level, you know, then you feel real old, because you know.
I believe it. I believe that for sure.
Yeah.
It's just when everybody's calling you Unc on the team and Grandpa, it's like, I'm real old. Yeah. It's crazy because we got guys born in like 2006 on our team, and I'm like, dude,
what is going on?
Yeah, 2006 is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so on the team, if you had to name like a sleeper to watch out for in future years, just some guy that's, you know, does the work, is gonna be something someday, who would you say that guy might be, or guys potentially?
First person that came to mind was Ontario.
Okay. Yeah.
Running back, even though our running back room's stacked, that dude. Like I'm envious of his knees. Like his knees are insane. He can just break and do whatever. He can do whatever he wants to do, and he was running all over our defense the other day. We had like a little younger guy bowl where they go live, and it's like good on good for the younger guys, and he was just tearing them up. So I'd say him. I think Andrew Pawd, although he's starting, he's just going to continue to keep getting better and better. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he was kind of on my list, as just from last year to this year has made a massive jump.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just so fast that he uses that very well. He's super strong too. He's probably pound for pound the strongest person on our team.
Really?
Yeah, he's like 175 and he cleans like 350 or some crazy number. That's insane. Yeah. I'm like benching. I got like 245 on. I'm like, I'm doing pretty good. Like 245. I'm repping 245 right now. He's got like 305 on or some crazy number.
Like those are fake weights, right? You get some just stacking on some plastic on there. I see. Okay.
Yeah. He's a crazy athlete. Yeah.
So from a player's perspective, did you watch the Dakota Marker? No, NDSU, SDSU. Did you watch that game at all?
I did not. I kept up. What was it, like 12-9 or something at the end of the game?
I think it was 13-9.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Anybody that likes to watch offense did not want to watch that game anyway.
No.
So, I had to watch it because, I'm a professional now, and everything. But had to watch it, did not enjoy it because I also only care about offense,
Yeah, it's just like we. They say North Dakota State has our number. It's just like I feel like we had our way with them last year, and we just let stupid things get us down.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't convert on 3rd and 1, and then had a penalty, and yeah, we beat ourselves last year, honestly. So they don't put fear into our hearts. So
Is there, from a fan's perspective, and obviously we're insanely biased to the Bobcats, I have yet to see anything that inspires me from another team. Honest, you can talk about all the Dakota schools. North Dakota beat the Grizzlies. I mean, they scored 27 points unanswered and beat the Grizzlies. South Dakota plays South Dakota State this weekend. North Dakota State beat South Dakota State. I mean, as a Bobcat fan, this seems like the most wide open year that there's kind of been in a while, and the Bobcats have done nothing but win convincingly every single week. I mean, is there another team even outside the Big Sky that's eye popping?
Personally, not to me. We're not gonna. At least the receivers aren't gonna take anybody and put them on this pedestal and act like we aren't better than them or we aren't as good as them. So we honestly do the opposite every week. We don't think anybody can hang with us because we're all guys from the FBS. We're all guys who could play at the FBS, in my opinion. We have guys,
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's how we view it in my room, at least, that nobody can really mess with us. So
yeah, I mean, just watching you guys this season, the way the team is clicking, the play calling, offense and defensive side of the ball. I mean, the defense looks. I mean, I've been a Bobcat fan for a lot of years, and I don't know that I've ever seen a defense quite like this one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Daly's cooking. Daly's cooking right now. I can't lie.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Does that make practices pretty tough?
No.
Still, yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What's it like getting coached by a former All-Pro or all conference, I should say?
In Daly?
Yeah.
Coached against by former all conference?
Yeah.
I mean, let's what is it like being around somebody like that as a coach?
Daly's cool. We don't talk a lot, but whenever we are in conversation, it's always really cool. He's a guy's guy. He's really easy to relate to. He's really cool. His family's always up at the facility, so the atmosphere just among the team, it's not just Daly, it's all the coaches, all their families are always up there. It's really a family atmosphere. It's really cool, which is one of the reasons why I came here. I felt that on my visit. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. All right, we'll let you go here soon. Okay, I know you got a paper to write. All right, I know you got some stuff to work on, but I just got a couple more things. Okay, so pregame music. Are you a pregame music guy?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, what kind of things are you listening to before a game?
So if it's like the bus ride, I'm listening to like some R&B, some smooth stuff just to calm down, and then leading up like pregame, we're doing warm ups and stuff. I'm listening to like some Cali rap, some Tupac, some Nipsey Hussle, some stuff like that just to get going. So that pretty much that kind of stuff.
Yeah, very much an LA guy through and through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. You're obviously a Dodger fan wearing an LA hat. You mentioned USC, you at UCLA College. NFL team. What is it?
Dolphins.
You
You
already
said
told
that.
us. Hey, come
Yeah, you said
on. Are you a basketball guy?
said
So we
that.
can hear something new, you know?
Yeah, Lakers.
Lakers?
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
come
Oh,
on,
yeah.
man.
You
Come
could've guessed that,
on,
man.
man.
Come on.
Bronny James.
Oh, yeah. He's the truth,
Yeah,
right?
let's
You know,
go.
whatever. You know? Nepo baby at its finest, you know?
Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
is cool to see LeBron playing with his son, and LeBron is a really good person in general. I might not like watching him play basketball, but he is a really good dude. You know,
Yeah.
raised a good family and everything. Does good stuff with schools. I can respect it. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Last thing, do we get to see you at Eastern Washington?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Oh, yeah.
go.
So we want
Let's
Yeah.
go.
the entire time.
Perfect. Yeah.
The entire time.
Everybody had a heart attack when you went down. I'm
I
not
had
gonna
a
lie,
heart
I got a
attack,
lot of
dude.
texts.
I had a heart. I thought my shoulder was done for, but luckily it was just a little pinched nerve, so I got over
That's
that
good.
pretty fast. Yeah.
Nice. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you taking the time, man. We know you're busy. This
Yes,
was
sir.
a lot of fun.
For sure.
Yeah, appreciate you big time.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. I listen pretty much every week, so it's
No way. No way. Don't even tell me that, because now I'm going to be thinking about the fact that you're listening every week. I can't deal with that.
I'll
can't deal
show
with
you
that.
my log.
You know? He's pulling up receipts. Now that's
Yeah.
awesome. You were one of the earliest people to follow us and like from the team or anything, and one of the first people that was commenting to us and everything. So that we really appreciate it, because you know it's just. We started out like two dudes with a $20 microphone clipped to our hoodies, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been nice to like interact with the team and everything. We never thought we'd have a chance to interview somebody like you, Ty. So it really means a lot to us, man.
Heck
Really
yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
Shout out Hannah, your sister.
Yeah. She's been recruiting. She has been all over campus. She has stuck more Cat's Pod stickers in random places than I think any other person on the face of the earth, you know.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah,
got Ty
we-
McCullouch on the show, you know.
Yeah. We do a lot of group work together, so we talk a lot. So
Yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah,
Awesome.
you're a writing major, right? What's the favorite author?
I don't really have one.
Hard to
I just
pick
read
out?
what they tell me to read.
Oh yeah, it is
I-
like that in
I
college.
honestly
Yeah.
do not like reading. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hate it still, but it's what comes with writing, I guess. So.
But you like to do the writing part of it?
I love writing. Yeah.
Is that something you want to do in the future?
Yeah, it's something I'll probably fall back on. I want to coach after.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if I just need something to fall back on, I'll have a master's in English writing. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's nice to always have that in the back pocket, you know. That's not a small thing, you know.
Yeah. Right.
Not a small thing to have back there, you know.
Yeah. Congratulations to you guys and the team on the season so far. We will be rooting for you big time coming up here. This has been one of the best seasons I can remember. So
Yeah.
we as a podcast, and I think the rest of the fans just want to say thank you guys for providing us with some ammunition against all the Grizzlies. So I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate it.
First 8-0 start since 56.
56.
Yeah.
Keep
Crazy.
rolling, you know. All right, thanks everybody for listening. Please rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this at. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram or X at CatsPod. Hope you guys really enjoyed this show. Make sure that you shout out Ty for coming on to the show. Make sure he knows. Make sure he feels the love. And we will see you guys next week as we get ready for Eastern Washington along with Mr. Ty McCullouch.
Let's go, Cats.
Let's do it.